Alright, we have discussed about the current medical solution for gout and its limitation. Now let's take a look at the more natural home remedies for gout, and let's discuss about its effectiveness. Alright, I just list out a few the popular ones. If you can search around internet, most probably you all have already searched. So the popular ones are cherries, baking soda, lemon juice, and apple cider vinegar. That's said to have positive healing effect for gout patients. Alright, in treating gout. So first take a look at the cherries. Alright, cherries is known to have very high antioxidants due to the element called flavonoid in it. So it's an antioxidant that can help to buffer the inflammation caused by the gouty inflammation. Because inflammation is a process where the white blood cell release a lot of oxidative agent. So the antioxidant of cherries, it helps to buffer off the oxidation agent, so it reduces the inflammation. So logically speaking, in terms of study, because I haven't introduced or I haven't run any official study on cherries, so this is based on what I study. Logically speaking, yeah, cherries does have some effect on reducing the inflammation of gout. Right, it is in treating gout. Then let's move on to talk about how to lower down the uric acid, because as you have understand now that the root cause of the problem is the uric acid deposited here in this area. So if you want to be free from gout, you need to clear this area. So you need something that can neutralize the acidity of uric acid. So now we talk about alkaline, and baking soda is known to have has some alkalizing effect. The same for lemon juice and apple cider vinegar. The unique thing about lemon juice and apple cider vinegar is, although they are very sour, apple cider vinegar, the sourness is from the organic acid. So how they determine but if you take a look at the list of the acidic food and alkaline food, it happens that lemon is classified under alkaline food. The same for vinegar, because the way they test whether a food is alkaline or acidic is they burn it in the lab, and the ashes they put into distilled water, and then they test the pH or test the mineral left after the burning. So the scientists assume the burning is like the digestive process. So the trace mineral left, the mineral ashes left, determine whether a food is alkaline or not. I don't want to comment about this method. It's a bit weird for me. So, but let's take a look. All right, how alkalizing these two things are. All right. With that, I want to do a simple demo to show the effectiveness of these so-called home remedies in treating or in neutralizing uric acid. All right. I have baking soda here. Baking soda, it's called sodium bicarbonate, and then I have lemon. I'll put here, and then apple cider vinegar. And I have alkalizing the ionic calcium, which I will talk about in detail in chapter 7. All right. This is, I take a bottle of alkaline. This is an alkaline mineral, very strong, very concentrated, active alkaline mineral. All right, put it down here. All right, then I want to put some water in these glasses. All right, and put water in these glasses. All right. Okay, equal amount of water, and then I put a pH drop. The water I put is mineral water, which is slightly alkaline, mild alkalinity. So this is the chart. This is the pH chart. If it is acidic, it's orange. Mild acidity is yellow. If it's neutral, it's green. And if it's alkaline, it's blue. And if it's high alkaline, it's purple. All right, this is the color chart. So now I drop the tester inside. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So you see, as you can see, okay, it's slightly blue. The pH is around 8.5. So it's mineral water. It's a good source of mineral water. It's slightly alkaline, right? And then let me take. Okay, all right. First, we put a bit of a baking soda If it's alkaline, it should increase the alkalinity, right? So from blue, it should increase up to purple, or maybe a deep blue, maybe, right? Okay, all right. Put the chart here. Okay, and I put one teaspoon of baking soda, which is quite a lot. Okay, let's see any changes. Not much, right? Let's see. All right, that's it. All right, and then for the lemon, I cut a slice of lemon. And then I squeeze a bit of lemon juice into this glass. You see, it turns the water become acidic. All right, and then the same for apple cider vinegar. I put a little bit into it. A bit too much. All right, it's okay. So it is acidic. So okay, and then for the last glass, I increased. This is a strong alkaline minerals, calcaline. So I increased the alkaline. I will talk more about this calcaline in chapter 7, ionic calcium. So okay, I squeeze the active mineral into it, and then I stir it. So it increased to highest alkalinity, purple. All right. So I leave it to you to judge whether how effective of these few things in home remedies in neutralize, because the logic is very simple. Your problem is acid. You need alkaline, strong alkaline to put it out. So now there's one thing very interesting about the baking soda is I want to show you. It has a very unique properties known as amphoterate. Amphoterate, which means it can neutralize acid at the same time it can neutralize alkaline. So to prove it to you, so now these two are acidic, right? So I put a teaspoon of baking soda into it, and then I put a teaspoon of baking soda. This is acidic. See, it turns green, neutralized. Then I put a teaspoon of baking soda, slightly more, and then I stir it. So you see, this one turned into green, blue, neutralized. It does neutralize it, but at the same time, it lowers down the alkalinity as well. So it has dual properties. The thing is, yes, it serves as a good buffer. There's a good buffer, but the problem is the sodium. The sodium bicarbonate. The problem is the sodium. If you take too much sodium, you will have hypertension, which can lead to stroke or heart attack. So if you want to use, it's cheap. It's very cheap. So if you want to treat your gout, or want to try to pull the acid out with the help of sodium, there's a price to pay. You have hypertension. But one thing you need to pay attention to is the reason sodium is alkaline mineral. But sodium in human body, sodium tend to the body tends to allocate or distribute sodium more in the bloodstream. So when you have a lot of sodium in the bloodstream, it absorbs the osmosis effect. We absorb water from here into the bloodstream, which why it causes the pressure in the blood vessel to increase. That's how sodium increases the pressure in the blood. But at the same time, it dries up this area. That's why you take a lot of salty food, it makes you thirsty, because it drags water into here. Whereas this is ionic calcium. It's mainly like it's 66% pure ionic calcium. When you drink this alkalinity from calcium, because calcium is distributed outside, which is within this area. So we have calcium here, it drags water into here. So it can improve the dynamic of this area, which I mentioned in the gout black box. That's how, although sodium, you can check the periodic table. Sodium and calcium is of the alkaline minerals. But when it's inside the human body, it works totally different. That's why I'm not so recommend using baking soda. Well, emergency, yes. If you are in a place you don't have access to alkaline water, and you have stomach pain or stomach acid problem, anything related to acid, you can use baking soda as a neutralizing factor. Right, that's all for home remedies. I hope you learned something new here, and I'll see you on the next chapter.